Hi, welcome everybody for SUSE QE Tools Workshop this year 2022. This will be a special meeting where the agenda today will be that we have 1 year of SUSE QE Tools Workshop to celebrate. So I would say oops, sorry. Yep, the list is getting big, so let's celebrate the success and have a good plan for the future for this workshop. For this, what I would like to do is I'll shortly recap what the idea of this workshop was originally, what the plan was, what we did, what we achieved over the past year, and then discuss with you guys what you like about it, what you learned from it, what you would like to see, or what else we could try as an experiment. So first, we had this idea of having meetups with people at various times. For example, within SUSE, we had a weekly meeting of OpenKA test writers and such. This was, I think, even before we had a tools team per se, so no dedicated team here. And then within the SUSE QE Tools team, we came to the idea having already multiple meetings which are open to everybody, that we would have one which is especially for community members and users. And my plan was that we would run that every week for a start to see how it was going and to cover some topics in the beginning and then move to a fortnightly cadence. So let's say every even week, or even if we say like, yeah, we don't have that many topics or we are overwhelming the users with many meetings, that we would switch to something like every month. It's a workshop, so the idea was always that there's a bit of a moderated and guided discussion to elaborate on certain topics, maybe to find new ideas, maybe to come up with decisions, and that can include some presentation parts, but commonly it's important that we really have an engaged discussion. So and further goal was to demonstrate new and important features in our product. So for example, in OpenKA or in the tools surrounding that, OpenKA review, the QM dashboard and such. Explain already existing but maybe less well-known features to really go into more detail and really show what's already there, and maybe hidden gems that you're not that aware of. And then discuss questions from the user community. And yes, all your questions are welcome. We commonly do announcements, so we drop a reminder with a teaser in the internal chat channel as well as in the OpenKA channel on Matrix. Yeah, and commonly we also have recordings and upload to YouTube. And we started with the very first meeting. So this was in the mid of January last year. We did start with OpenKA Order Review and OpenKA Investigate. And we do have a recording there, so you can still check in YouTube. And we open up that topic and we opened the discussion, and we came back to OpenKA Order Review sometimes later as well. But then afterwards, what we did is an overview of various repositories, because some people don't even know like what project are you actually working on, and I think also on GitHub it's a nice overview. Then yeah, we had Nick providing us an introduction to PowerPC, a special topic. I'm also happy that we have multiple people which are not within the SUSE QE Tools team contributing with leading topics, like review workflow discussions or OpenQA from Phoenix. Multi-machine tests was a topic. And then what we also had is every month, this is every first Friday of a month, the roadmap presentation where we show what did we achieve since the last time, like normally over the course of a month, what's the current state, what's our plan, and what are ideas for the further future. We had presentations about the infrastructure as well as about tests themselves, how to what OpenGA Review does, how to use the review badges. We sometimes had some more open discussions where we just were trying to not prepare that much upfront, trying to not limit the discussion. And actually that worked out fine, I would say. Also just Chris, you led the discussion last week. How was that? Was it helpful to have an open discussion?
Yeah, I'd say definitely. We had I think three topics brought up,
Yeah.
and I was surprised how engaging the call was.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I see that we have a lot of topics, and it wasn't it was quite easy to come up with topics. I mean, sometimes you say like, oh yeah, okay, that's the workshop this week, so we didn't announce it yet. What should we do? And then we came up with some topic. But commonly, I would say it's easy because there's always something where you either say like, oh yeah, we never really discussed about that, we never talked about that, or maybe sometimes you say like, I think it's time again to bring up a certain topic because maybe we need to remind people, maybe there are new people on board which can bring new aspects into discussions, or maybe just a refresher for the people that already know something. Or we changed something. And I think this is also where the workshop really helped us by having you guys engaged and providing your feedback that really influenced the plan. Yeah, Jan is gone.
I just want to. Are you finished?
Huh?
I don't want to interrupt you. Did you
No,
finish?
gone. We can hear you, gone.
I just want to give another perspective, at least from my point of view. Yeah, I start joining the meeting because to learn things and meet other people and for the announcement and everything. But for me, it was because I had the chance to come close to other people.
Right.
I see the workshop as a community, and in this sense, I think it's. I would like to see things, for example, coming people from engineers and other people out of the open QA, from our domain and talk and
Right.
things like this from heroes, I see
From
the
other
thing
groups as
like a
well. Yeah.
community and open source of edit,
Uh-huh.
and I would like to focus on this.
Right. Yep. Sounds good. Yeah. So all of you guys, you're invited to provide what did you gain from it? What would you like to see? So other voices. May I also ask the members from the QE Tools team, how helpful do you think that is to get feedback from the users, for example? Hello, Jitsa, go on. Can't hear anything. Let's try again later. Okay, someone else?
Well, good morning. Only thing that I wanted to say, I found this very useful, and I would encourage to do this even longer, or to reboot or just go on with the things. And one thing I especially liked most of the time, that let's say the workshop topics that were considered perhaps a bit trivial, but showed things that at least I, and I believe also a lot of other people, didn't know back then. I can find this a very good format to teach things that are considered general knowledge but are not distributed amongst other channels, let's say documentation or whatsoever. So this should be an encouragement of daring to go further with topics. So really stepping a little bit out of the comfort zone, but also dare to explain trivial things or simple workarounds or things that someone actually figured out a bit more in detail, because those were the sessions where I took out the most of the, yeah.
I see, that's cool. So yeah, you're supporting my suspicion that it's a worthwhile investment to recap on generic features, maybe things that we have already discussed, because then you can understand from other people when they actually use it, like, oh, this is how you use it, and maybe there's something more behind, and maybe that's something that, regardless if it's covered in documentation or not, it's hard to understand from there, because sometimes it's really practices coming from the daily work. Yeah.
Absolutely, and the discussions that we had on things that were considered normal also kind of are a point that prove this point.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool. Right, who want to go next? So question is, what's the scope of the workshop? I would say the scope of the workshop can be defined by two things. One thing could be the products that we work on within the SUSE QE Tools team, like OpenQA and OpenQA Review and QAM dashboard, and maybe a bit generic setup of the testing framework. But also the scope could be defined by the participants. And so you could say, well, you want to be the users of QA tools, so you can just discuss among yourselves how you use these tools, why you want to do a job like that, what you want to achieve, and how to do that. And this can broaden the scope to tools which don't exist yet, or new things that you want to bring to the discussion. So, don't limit it to just the software that I know, okay, as product owner for QE Tools, but further broaden the discussion to something which is new. Cool. So, okay, cool. I can continue here. I will cut out the break for the YouTube recording, I guess, then. And I didn't want to conduct a meeting that long anyway. So yeah, we have collected some feedback from people what we like about the meeting, and the plan is definitely to continue running the workshop. For now, I would like to keep the weekly cadence, because we have one meeting per month reserved anyway for the roadmap. And we have enough topics that are covering on the other side. So I would like to conduct a little poll, and I will use the poll here in Jitsi. And I will ask you, continue the workshop weekly or every second week, once a month, or stop the workshop, I have better things to do. So there you go, there's a poll. You're welcome to. I think is it multiple choice? I guess it's multiple choice, so you should be able to answer multiple things at the same time.
Yes.
Also, they should be complete.
I can select multiple things.
Yeah, you shouldn't. So while the poll is going on, you can say you can also provide your verbal feedback regarding that if there's something to consider. Yeah, Anton?
You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
Got.
I wanted to say something before and apparently had audio issues. You said something earlier that made me think that there are other people in the tools team, perhaps some who could get like a presentation or a meeting led by them, because we only see you and Christian, and not that I have anything against you, but
Okay.
it's nice to,
yes.
especially given now that we are all working from home, it's nice to see who is behind the team. Like,
Oh, you want to see into the living rooms of all contributors. I get that.
yes.
Yeah, nice. Definitely. Yes, that's true. There had been meetings by multiple people. For example, already next week, Tina has planned to lead one meeting, and also.
So what topic is that? Can you provide a teaser?
Right. So next week will be auto review with force results. Tina, would you like to, in some seconds, introduce what you would like to have this topic about?
Yeah. So maybe you have heard about the force result feature, and it's now also possible to use this force result feature from a ticket title in Redmine, which is a bit spooky action at a distance. And yeah, there was some discussion about this, if this is safe, and yeah, would like to talk about it next week.
Yep. So talk about it. It's open. It's not like we would like to convince you of anything, but really want to have people engaged, hear their opinion, hear their ideas about that. So yeah, good point. Janis? Sorry, there was. Can we have Jose first, because Janis, you already had your share. Jose. Also, you're unmuted, but I can't hear you yet. Okay, then let's try with Janis for now.
When I said before about the community, it's because I miss the feeling of community, right? And when I ask for the scope, I have two things. Like, can we include on the scope, for example, how I package this, or how I use my local instance, or how I set up Emacs for you to do this? And the extension of this is like, will you be positive to ask other people from other projects come talk to us and exchange ideas how they do things on their open source project and things like this?
Okay, so if you're actually interested in having a Jitsi meeting about broader OpenSUSE related topics, I would like to point you to the OpenSUSE bar. So I put that here in the chat. If you don't know about that, you can meet with guys on broader topics. OpenSUSE bar, I mean, it's just a Jitsi room, right? Open, and that's linked to a Matrix chat channel, a Telegram group and Discord. So yeah, that might be something else. Of course, there are other ways to meet people, a community in written form, if it's about chat or mailing list or something like that. I'm not sure, is anyone else aware of, comparable workshops or meetups using a meeting format like this for related topics? Well, if you're aware, then I'm welcome to share that. Okay, Jose, I think I read that microphone for you doesn't work yet because we had to switch. If you like, you can just speak up and try again. In the meantime, I would say we have the results from the poll. So 10 people say that it's good to keep the weekly cadence, and 8 people vote for having that every second week. No one said that it's useless, and no one said that just once a month would be okay. So I'm happy to hear that. So definitely the first 2 options are also the ones which I would consider for the time being, so that we can still follow the original plan and think about moving that to every second week. I guess that could be an option. For now, I would still continue weekly, but yeah, let's see. We could switch that.
I'd be curious what the motivation is. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you would like to share that, why every second week? Is that because you say there's something conflicting? Is there, yeah, on. Who would like to speak up?
I just want to say that if it's every 2 weeks, maybe 1 hour is not enough.
Okay. Yeah. So give it more time, but do it less often. That's right. That's a good idea. And now I would like to ask you, not in a poll, but in an also open discussion regarding the format and the content. What do you think about that? Should we change something about it? I mean, it's good to have multiple people involved. We don't want to force everybody to do a proper presentation and have all that laid out, but still we could change something. We could, be less structured, more structured. Thanks from Jose. I'm reading out your feedback. So the format for you is you like the format, and there have been very interesting topics. So thank you for that. Would like to see more technical sessions about backends and some more OpenQA internal. So yeah, that's one good point, one good idea. I will note that down. Something else in that direction. Feedback from you guys. What you would like to see.
Can I again?
Okay.
Sorry. I had proposed this in private chat with you to make it more interactive,
yeah,
and maybe use some polls to make it more fun in some way.
More interactive, I can do more fun. Maybe someone else needs to do that. Felix, go on.
The backends would be something that we could cover a little bit better, since there is no documentation on this, and it's a corner case that pops up more often than people like to admit.
Okay.
That's perhaps something that we could really cover a bit more in detail.
Yes. That's a good idea. I would like to ask you about it. So you mean the OS audience backends where we have, let me share that. This is basically, now it's becoming a bit low level, I know. Basically, we have this list of files, right, in OS Autoinst. And the main primary backend that most people get in touch with the first time is the Chemo backend.
Yeah.
So yeah, about the others. And I wonder how to do that. I mean, what I could offer is, for example, a code walkthrough. Okay. So maybe it's a bit boring, but I think still helpful to do a code walkthrough to really let's do one example. I don't want to cover it all in detail. To say, okay, we have the AMT backend. Now let's walk through the code and understand what it means and what consequence the code has on when we actually use that. Okay, that would be one possibility. Another possibility would be to look at actual test results using this backend and saying, like, how does it look like? How does it behave? How does it compare to other backends?
There is also another solution, right?
Okay.
As a workshop, and this is something that is missing from this workshop, from my point of view, is like the initiative to take something, check it yourself, and come back to present what I learned.
That would be perfect. So
yes.
If any one of you is interested and say, like, hey, I'm doing this kind of painful thing of throwing myself into the cold water, trying to understand something in detail myself, and then presenting what I learned to the others. Yeah.
So for the backend, I think that is a very good idea because this reflects, in my opinion, the needs of the people. So someone without in-depth knowledge goes out there, tries to understand what the different backends are and how they can be used is exactly the question that I would, as a user, have to those backends. I think a great idea.
It also triggers a conversation because trying things out, you're gonna get some feedback from others, and this is great for a workshop.
Yeah, definitely. So again, I will note this down. I will note this down also on the wiki page for workshops. But then it comes to doing that, and basically, I would say two ways how that will come into reality. One is that I'm inviting you guys to do exactly what you suggested yourself. So as Janne stated, learn about it yourself and then present it to the others. That would be very cool. I would love that. If that's not happening, because maybe you just have good ideas and then real life comes in and asks you to work on things with different priorities, then I would be left with this, and I would say, like, in the end, I'm completely fine to also do that myself because I don't want to force anyone else, but I still think that's really helpful topics. So I would pick up maybe one or two backends and present them to you. And then you will see how not funny and how boring I can do that. And then it's your own fault, right? You had your chance.
So I have a question. What kind of knowledge do we already have? Like, do we have some people who feel like they could explain some of the backends already?
Right. We could ask. Let me try something fun. Okay. Which OS Autoinst backend do you know the least? Okay. And I'm only writing out the real backends. So I mean, we have some base classes. VM, HMC. Oh, Good.
Oh, you even include null. Nice.
Yeah, and
My favorite.
I clicked the button prematurely, but never mind. Just go with it, okay? So the poll is open. So the ones which I forgot is SPVM, SWord, and Vagrant. Sorry about that.
Can't you change it anymore?
No, I don't think I can. I can change my vote, but I can't change the poll. Right, so it seems like AMT is going to win, and the close-up followers are General Hardware and PVM HMC. And we have
What
new
is
votes
AMT?
coming. Yeah, that's exactly what we want to find out. Okay, so to reveal a little bit about a secret here. So AMT is a technology that comes from Intel. Yeah. It's also remote management technology, so that you have possibility to control servers from the outside. Yeah, so controlling real hardware, not virtualized. That's the important point. Okay, cool. Some more people that would like to vote. Currently, it seems like a clear winner is AMT. And the next one after that would be General Hardware. So interesting story. I mean, we can see which had been updated recently or not that recently. And as you can see that, well, at least every file receives an update once every couple of months. So it's not like completely dead code. And AMT even has received an update 9 days ago. Okay, this is commits by me, and commits by me are commonly trivial, just changing white space, changing the syntax a bit, making the code clearer without changing anything regarding functionality. At least that's the case. But besides that, maybe there's not that much change in AMT. And the question is also, is it actually used? So let me try another poll. And do you know any test where the following backends are used? So the same options, but here I would like to know from you, I mean, if you know at least one test in reality, one OpenQA test where you see, yeah, this has been used, then please click these options. And now this is a real multiple choice, so you should really be able to click multiple options here. EVM, SWord, and Vagrant. I think that should be it, excluding the base classes. So please click all the backends where you know at least one test where this is used. So this one I'm not. Yes. This one, yeah. This one, no. Yeah. Yes. Right. So this is cool. We have a lot of votes coming in. Thanks, guys. Active participation. So, okay. Clearly, Chemo is the front runner. That's to be expected. That's really good because this is what we consider the most used backend. And then S390, that's also one that is actively used. I mean, for S390, that's what we use. But also SWord, that's used for both S390 as well as for other cases. So these are the 3 top runners. That's cool. We also see that, yeah, people know that Vagrant is there and that it's used. That's cool. SPVM, that's used, also PVM HMC. Yeah, IPMI, that's what we commonly use for connecting to bare metal real hardware. General hardware has 4 volts. That's okay because it is used. Nobody is aware of uses of AMT, so that's helpful feedback. Makes myself consider, do we actually, should we remove it, because maybe it doesn't really work anymore and anybody trying would just give up, and then it's a frustrating experience. I see 3 volts for the null backend, so that's cool. I mean, if you want to see the null backend, it looks like this. Super simple, right? Isn't that awesome? What is that for? Well, it's basically for testing OS Audience itself, okay? But you can also use that as a template to understand, like, well, you need these commands at least, and then you have a backend. As simple as that. And then there's PVM, and actually for PVM, I'm not sure if we are correct when we say that it's actively used. There's basically right now there are 3 backends which I know which are used for Power VM or PowerPC. Sorry, PowerPC Power VM testing. There's PVM, there's PVM HMC, and there is SPVM. And PVM, if you would use that, then you should see this warning, because we consider that backend unsupported and plan to remove it. And I think it's actually not actively used. I have looked up on OpenQA, OpenSUSE.org, and OpenQA SUSE DE, and I found no test that actually uses the PVM backend, but what the tests are using is PVM HMC and SPVM. Am I wrong here? Did I miss something? Please correct me. I don't want to remove that when it's actually used.
I have a question on that. Do we have data on other instances, say Fedora or GNOME instances, if they might be using that?
We don't have automatic statistics submitted to us, right? So we are relying on users telling us, hey, we'd use that. So yes, I would like to know. And this is why you know how to learn on the internet. You can't learn on the internet by asking, but what you do is you state an obviously wrong thing, and then people will aggressively correct you. So I'm saying PVM is not used, we can remove it. Please somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, we are going to remove it. Yay. Thanks. Cool. So thanks a lot. So good point. We would like to cover the backends first. Is there anyone volunteering right now to say, yes, sign me up, one of the next 3 appointments, I will do the, the diving into random backend and present to you what we have learned, what you have learned. So yeah, think about that.
So I might say I'd be more likely to consider it if somebody else is also kind of going to look at the same backend.
You don't want to be alone. That's okay.
Well, let's put it this way as an example. Actually, like I ended up learning a lot about the S-word backend code because it was looking
right
and his vectoring, and I still feel like it would be handy to have somebody else to know if what I think is going on is actually making sense. So I feel like maybe it'd be nice to do it with another person.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we will need to find decisions for that after this meeting. So yeah, please sign up yourself on the wiki page, get in contact with me, get in contact with Chris or someone else to organize this if there are enough backends which we can try to dive into. Just pick one and then learn about it and then present. That would be cool. Okay. So with that, I'm at the end with the polls that I wanted to conduct, with the topics that I wanted to cover. Something else that you think would be a good plan for the future for this workshop series?
Well, I just want to quickly say that a few times I found the YouTube recordings very handy. So good job, Oliver, with this, as it's useful. For
Okay.
example, when one is ill, then
Yeah.
then you can, and the session looks interesting to you, you can just play it and listen to it. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. It's actually, you know, I can let's try a poll, okay? Have you ever watched a workshop recording? Yes. Completely. I binge it. That's awesome. Yes, but not
And why?
till the end. I fell asleep. No, I only participate actively. I won't include the option that you don't watch the recording and don't attend the meeting because you are here. So yeah, poll is open.
What if someone has watched it and attended live as well? Is that covered here?
The attendance isn't
Yeah.
covered, so it doesn't matter. It's just about the recording. I know that only participants are able to vote, so I
If I
hope.
watched part of it,
Yeah.
if I watched part of it because that fulfilled my needs, do I still check the second one?
Yes. I'm not blaming you when you said you fell asleep, even if you did. That's okay.
Alex, can you repeat your question? Because I did not get that.
Yeah, have you ever watched a workshop recording? Pavel,
Yeah, I know. I mean, Felix. Felix was asking about the second option.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I asked if I would watched only part of the movie because that was then answering my question and I stopped. If I still should answer by the second one
Yeah.
or the second
So
answer.
you were looking up recordings because you're like, wait, a certain topic should be covered, and then you're looking for maybe some topic and try to get the answer, and then you're done.
No, I understand this differently, Oliver.
Hmm.
If someone watch only the part because, for example, you attended live,
Right.
but you wanna recap a part of
Oh,
it,
yeah.
so you watch only the part on YouTube again, but still you did not fall asleep. I mean, it's
Yeah.
different, right?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It was just a joke, but yeah, that's certainly a valid case. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, exactly. Of course. I mean, the recording is there for people that don't have the chance to attend, but of course, it should also help if you say, like, I was there, maybe I missed that part, I want to have it repeated, watch it slowly. Sure, can work. Yeah, so I see a fair share in the responses, and I would say there's no immediate consequence out of that. So some people like and watch recordings, that's cool. Some people take the recording as a reference and just get what they need from it, that's cool as well. Some people only participate. I completely understand. I think it can be a bit tedious to really try to watch like a 1 hour recording when you're not active participant yourself. So completely what I expected, of course. Okay.
So I have another question then.
Yeah.
Would people see value in some kind of edited version or a summary of it if one is using it to look something up?
Would say that depends topic-wise. If you have something like a backend presentation, then for sure, because that would also provide something to the documentation, perhaps not in the official documentation, but something that is at least Googleable. For
Yeah.
other topics, I don't know, the open discussions, there probably not.
Right. All right, cool. So thanks everybody. This was fun. I think it was also helpful for us to have that feedback. Teaser for next week. We already mentioned that auto review first result discussion that will be led by Tina. And after that, the week after that will be again first Friday of the week. Oh, actually, I need to correct that. So this will be already February. We didn't really have that for January. So the SUSE QE Tools roadmap. And after that, we already have some proposals. I will include more from the feedback here. For example, this backend presentation. That's going to be awesome. Yeah. So cool. Thank you all. Until then, see ya and goodbye.